What stood out for me was how Manchester City so desperately needed Haaland to win. Nah, it was Man United just flopping against Aston Villa. What troubles me about United is that one week they look to have understood the plan under Ten Hag, play well, purring, everything is going right, and then they're good. The other week they don't know what they're doing. I'll maintain this, right? Like as much as City got a red card and it made the game harder for them against Fulham. Before then, Fulham were holding their own. And I say this to bring the point to Man United that no team got dismantled at the Etihad like Man United did, because when they got there, they looked lost, they didn't know what they were doing again. They turn up Aston Villa Park, they don't know what they're doing again. 2 early goals, now they have to chase the game. And then later on with Villa is 3. It is frustrating because you've got all the players according to your formation. Just like last week, gents, let's keep going. But then all of a sudden they hit a brick wall and you're like, what went wrong today? And they just can't figure it out amongst themselves. So that is troubling about them as a team. I don't think this is Villa's form. I don't think it's new manager bounce. They're going to play another team next to Kuzobo and they're going to come down again because we made them look good.
Good evening is in the building, Chuck. What?
Let's try a look. Good evening.
Arsenal are very much one of the 2 best teams in the EPL. That is very clear. And just based on what happened this weekend with Manchester City being fortunate to come through with the result at home against Fulham,
very lost.
You would then think that Arsenal, who then did the business at Chelsea, are the better team right now. On the league doesn't lie. You know, it says that, and that is very much true. And as much as it wasn't the best performance from Arsenal, the fact that they did keep a clean sheet away from home, where that's been a struggle at home, even though they've been getting the results. And the goal was fluky, but Arsenal created a bunch of chances in that game where they should have put them away. And the one that actually does go into the back of the net is that one. But you don't look at the result based on the goal that was scored and how it was scored and think to yourself, that's not quite the fair result. You know, if I'm not mistaken, Arsenal had like 14 shots in that game. And this is a 3rd win on the trot at Stamford Bridge, which is something we haven't seen much in the 21st century. You know, like it's been one of the places where Arsenal have struggled to go there to get against this team, even at home. So that's a good result that they're getting it in the season where they are looking like to be title contenders. Other results, the Manchester United result, I think the result is a little flattering to Villa because yes, they scored those goals, right? And those goals came early. But then they were not battering Manchester United, not in my opinion. One of the goals, the Ramsey goal, for example, that's brilliant play from Watkins where he does pull Lindelof into the middle of the pitch. Ramsey makes the run into that space that was vacated, and he finishes. And between Ramsey and Watkins, as well as Leon Bailey, I think that front 3 can do some special things for Aston Villa because they interchange and they're all mobile, they're all skillful, and they're not traditionally sticking to particular positions. Ramsey scored from the left, but you saw him show up on the right as well. Watkins is the striker, but you see him go into midfield, giving the passes to those wide players. So that is, I think, the identification of the new coach, and it'll be interesting to see can they carry this forward. United actually came back in that game, and they were, on performance, the better team. I do think there's coaching that is happening at Manchester United. I saw it in the game against Spurs, saw it in the game away to Chelsea, and now again in this game, Ronaldo has a header which goes off the keeper. You know, another day he scores that. So I'm not as concerned about United actually as I was at the beginning when they were getting those results against Brentford, even in that game against Arsenal where they won, don't quite know how. I'm seeing patterns of play with this Ten Hag team, and they do need reinforcements and they do need more time with this coach. You look at what Arsenal do with Arteta, I think that is something that you can maybe, if not expect, you're hopeful for with Ten Hag and Manchester United. And then there's Spurs, Chuck. What you point out where when Son is not playing, like the only goal-scoring threat is Kane. If Kulusevski is not playing, where you had Perisic was playing further up ahead, all they do is put crosses into the box. It was actually very disappointing to see Liverpool, who have Konate in there as well as Van Dijk, 6 foot whatever monsters, and those crosses continuously found the heads of like Spurs players. But in terms of what Spurs were doing in chasing the game, all they had was let's put crosses into the box and hope that one of our players gets their head or a touch onto this.
No imagination, no patterns
None
of
whatsoever.
play.
If, as I'm saying, if Son is not playing, it's an uphill battle.
And you know what? When you say
They're
that,
fraudsters.
I think I think Conte has to take one player, whether Pusuma. Yes, they have got to Bentancur, but maybe push Bentancur up front and coach them to be more offensive eight, because you guys have seen throughout the entire season either Son Agakore or Richarlison is out injured or Kulusevski has been out injured. Make a play, and you can't just depend on those players with okay, when a full 8, a more advanced 8, when a 10, because when they're set up and how Spurs set up is that we've got Son and Kane, both score, the rest of us let's sit back. When they're required to score, they don't have a clue how to go about it.